Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, moving ahead with this project. So what we have is this vertical, and we need this to be horizontal. So we've got it looks like we got to take about 5/16 or something like that off of the outside edge of this. So we're going to go ahead and start working our way into it. And I'm thinking we don't need to go too much further than that. As soon as I find my Allen wrench. That's not it. Well, that's interesting because there it is. We'll set the stop, and that way we don't go beyond it. And then just start working our way in. Okay, so we've got our second prototype with a really nice bend, and we got it up against the arc, so we continue the arc, and I think it's time we're just going to run a couple of tacks right there and get this thing locked in and then see what happens. So let's weld. All right, that's a good start. That should give us pretty much what we want. Let's lay it on the original piece itself and see how close we are. Pfft, we're not even close. That's interesting. Well, okay, we're going to spin you around here. And you can see that the arc is totally different. So, but that's no problem because we've got lots of room to bend and pull and tweak and hopefully not break. Let's see what that looks like. That's much closer. I think better that I want it to go back and take it up here. And this is going to be a little tougher. So we're going to bring this back just a bit. There we go. And that should be good. Too close to the tire though. want to get a little ways away from the tire. And then we want to bend this just a little bit this way. That looks good. Oh, but wait a second. We need to get there. I'd say about right there. So this needs to bend a little bit. Pretty close. We are almost there. I think what I'm going to do is go in and just grind. The edge here is making contact with this, so I can't bend it any further. But if I just grind out a little bit of that, I think I can get just a bit more of a torque. So I'll be back. All right. Well, we're in good shape. I flipped it over, and it looks good from this side, but from this side it's a bit of a mess. So we're going to do a little backfill here. All right, so we've got our 9 pieces done. There's 8. Let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And so now we just got to come in, clean up the edges so it's not sharp. Okay, so there's 9. Now what we need to do is come in and one of these has a notch in it. Which one is it? Oh, this one up here. We need to come in and square off the top edge of 3 of these because they're going to be the inside of the sandwich. And it's going to sandwich like that. And then the inside will come through, and this little tongue will slide into the piece of tube and then weld. So that is a tomorrow project. For now, I think we're done, and well, I can go many directions, but this is pretty much the direction I want to go this morning, and that is the motor sits inside of the wheel like that, and then this little boss right here, or shoulder, slips into the end of that shaft nice and snug, And so the motor then comes up underneath and rolls in, as you can see. Let me get that screw out of the way. There we go. And it just pretty much sits right there. But the motor rotates. So we have to figure out something that's going to stop the motor from rotating, because it needs to drive the wheel eventually. So what we've done is we know that the motor is going to be someplace dead center with the hub, or with the tubing there. So we've come in, we've got the motor dead center. We're going to bring our piece of steel up to that, and eventually it's going to be in by this far at least, and it'll tie into this tube just about right. So then we'll probably end up notching it a little bit and throwing a nice weld on that. So we've got our piece of steel marked. Now we're going to go drill that and come back and test it out. Right, so we've got our mark, and you know, what about, I don't even know what size drill bit. Let's make it sure it's going to go through the hole. It is. So we'll just come up to our mark. And I've got these gloves on because there's some sharp edges here, and if the drill catches, it's not going to cut me. So let's take it down and just drill out a hole. Now we're going to have to go to 3/4 here, so that in fact, I don't even know what size, so I'm going to go measure the size out of this thing. No, that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to hold it well enough, so maybe I'll just drag my clamp over and see if we can grab it there. Something about like right there. Okay. I don't know, we're just chewing the shit out of that bit. Alright, maybe we come in with a hole saw. Yeah, I don't want to wreck that bit. Okay, we're almost to 1 inch. We'll take it to the last step. This is ridiculous. That bit ain't working for shit. Now what's going on here? First thing we want to do is make sure we're set there, and we're not. Okay, that's good for that. All right, let's try it again. There's 1 inch. All right, we'll take it back over and see what we got. All right, so we've got our hole drilled. We've got our motor set up so that the hole will fit. Now we've got to get this thing cut so that the motor will fit around it. And I think it's probably a good idea. Well, no, we don't have to do that. We can just slip this in here like this. And this could be like that. And that looks pretty good all the way around. Okay. Hang on to it there. I'm going to spin you around here so you can see. So the motor sits on top of this, but we have to clear the motor. So I'm guessing we come in here like this and like this. Well, maybe more like this. We just kind of cut a line that clears that motor there and there. So let's get a straight edge. There's one. So we'll come in, we'll just leave a little bit more room. We're going to cut there and cut there. Let's see what that looks like. All right, let's put it back up. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we're going to take that wedge off, probably just with the power hacksaw. We'll be back. All right, so we've got our slot cut. We drop our motor in, and it should just bottom out nicely right there. And it almost does. It looks like it's missing just that one little corner right there. You see it? Okay, so that's no problem. If I had a pen, there's one. And it looks like we want to take just a bit more out of that. And I'm thinking we can just kind of come in like this. Take that wedge out there. Maybe even just a little bit more. Yeah, let's give that. Okay, let's try again. Drop it in the hole. Drop it in the, put the motor in there, and it looks like it's going to fit just perfect, and it sits right up against the plate all the way through. We've got plenty of room to work with this, and so just about right. All right, so now what we want to do is come in and drill our holes out so that we can put bolts in here and get this thing locked into place before we actually come in and figure out exactly where it's going to sit and what we have to cut out here and the excess we have to cut off there. So the way I want to do that is I'm going to take the old mechanism, and we're just going to put this aside for now. Maybe bring this in a little closer. And the old mechanism is right here. There's that hole, and that hole, and they go into that one, that one, and that one. And later on we can get this one, these two worked out or not. And I mean, the thing held up pretty well without those extra two in place. We're nice and centered. So we've got to figure out how this thing goes. You know what? And I'm wondering, you know, they've got this nice little blind hole in here that just kind of pretty much bottoms out. I'm wondering if I can just come through with a really small drill bit and drill that and drill into this and get my holes. Just figure out where they're at from drilling it. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go over to the drill press to do that. All right, so we've got our piece locked in with the C-clamp, and then we put a couple parallels in here to get this thing up in the air a little bit. And I think we can just kind of come in and drill some holes. Let's get you on the other side. All right, so we need to speed this thing up, that's for sure. Pretty good. Are we going to make it? We're not going to make it. But we'll make other ones. Rotate this around. Come in dead center. Hopefully dead center. That looks pretty center. We're going to just punch right straight through that and then straight through the steel. There you go. Rotate this around. That's pretty good. No, it's not. There. That's it. Yep. Straight through the center. Uh-oh. And I'm hitting this thing again. Alright, let's come out all the way out to the end here. Good. A little bit off. Yeah, just a tad off. We'll just swing it. Okay. That's two of them. And these other two we can't get to. And there's one more right here that we missed completely, damn it. Well, that's okay. Let's see, maybe we might want to get that one lined up. Okay, we've relined it. Now we're going to come in and just recut those holes. And let's see. I think we better cross these holes out. We're going to put circles around them to tell us that this is not the hole. Okay. Straight through. What we're going to do is extend that drill bit. There we go. That'll at least get us down. Mark the hole. Nope, not gonna. Can I get out a little further? What the hell? The hole mark, that's all that counts. Let's come down on this one. That's good. Rotate around to this one. One last one there. Maybe we can just rotate our C-clamp, maintaining pressure. Yeah, look at that. We're not going to get all the way through, but we got a pilot. All right, we're going to go over to the bench. Well, actually, let's put the next drill bit in and go for it. This one should do the trick. It's about 210 or 220. Okay. Last one over in this corner. and we're ready to go. Okay, we got the thing hooked up. Let's put this back up in place. We're going to bring our axle in. Well, let's forget the wheel for now. Hook our axle in. Drop it in there. And this thing wants to sit just about there. And of course, it's just barely touching. But that shouldn't be a problem. I think what we want to do is just make a bend right here. Maybe a bend this far back there, just like, 15 or 20 degrees, and that'll bring it into this bar a little bit better. So we're going to bend it this way. All right, that ought to work. And yahoo, we get to use our shop press to bend this little piece of material here, and it'll be our first official use, not just dinking around. So hey, let's go for it. All right, so we've got our die set up. We've got our mail set up. Let's turn the converter on and drop this baby right on top. Well, a bit too much of a bend there, but I think it's something we can play with. All right, so we're set up. We're going to bring our axle in. Slide that into the axle. Bring this around. And obviously we've got a lot of stuff going on there. So that's going to be, I'm thinking someplace right in there is where we want to trim this. Like right dead center there. And how far do we want to come in? I mean, all the way to there. So it would be something like that. Is that right? Maybe just a little bit more, but somewhere in that general area. I'll go over to the bandsaw and just go ahead and whip that off there a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, so let's do this again. Put the axle back in there, bring this up against it, and we have ourselves a bracket, although it may be a little bit low, but actually there's plenty of room to adjust whichever direction we need to go. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to make it look nice. Ha! So what I want to do is take this tab off here, and we're going to trim the other tabs. This thing looks pretty good like it is, maybe just this one corner. All right, let's give it a go and see how it came out. This goes on the shaft. Where's the shaft? There it is. This goes over here. The shaft goes there. There's a little spacer that goes in between right there. And then of course the bolts and such. But at this point it looks like everything's gonna fit really nicely. Well, maybe not. But we can, all I have to do is just trim out this part just a little bit. I can see it. That it's, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or so. But that's going to get that motor locked right in there. So that's what we wanted. And we'll take it apart for now. We've got to go into town and get the correct screws. I'm dealing with, you know, American screws, and this is out of a Volvo, so it's metric for sure. So we're going to go get the correct screws, and we'll come back at another time. We'll see you then. All right, well, so in order to get these sliders to actually function, they've got to slide over the top of this little arm here, and of course the weld. So we're going to come in on the mill, and we're going to just trim out. Oh, do I have a pen? Well, we'll just point it. We'll trim out just beyond the weld there, and then out, and that'll get us to this level. And smaller. Now we may have torqued a little bit one way or the other, and if we have, then we'll be able to trim that out too. So let's turn on the mill. Yeah, I think we'd be able to do it with that. Bring it down. All right, that's that for that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it looks good. It's under the surface, just a smidge, just enough, and time to flip this over and do the other side. Missed over here at this far end, but that really doesn't matter because all we want to do is stay under this surface here, and certainly this is under that because this cut here and that's parallel. So we've got ourselves a slider, and let's get this is what I was trying to accomplish. So this slides in all the way without hitting anything. There it is, right there. Well, it looks like it's hitting that. but I think that's just, you know, milling dross. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm ready for that. So we do 2 more and we'll be there.